What's up, y'all? Hope y'all doing good. Hope y'all doing great. Hope y'all staying safe. Sorry for the same hoodie as last video. Um, it's that I did a bad quality video. I really do. I really am sorry. I'm really sorry to y'all and to Dope Exotic. Knowing that Dope Exotic is the best quality distributor in snacks right now on the USA. They got to a 2 and 3 day shipping, and they almost always, they give you a freebie on every box they do in every order. So letting that know, go into the link in the description, go into Dope Exotic and buy a box, buy an order, and they're gonna hook you up very good, bro, for real. um as the title says, Lil Keed Talk to Him Too is a 20 track. They got 20 songs on this full LP, where I've never heard Lil Keed in my life. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I never heard to a YSL member. At least Gunna is the only one. I have heard Young Thug, but it's not that, I'm not a Young Thug, fan at all. So starting at number one is the title Go See, where there's a great balance in Lil Keed's vocals with the producers and the engineer. When you can hear the song, is not that saturated, is not overdone, and is not basic neither. So I do respect great producers. There were like 4 producers or 5 producers in the track, where they balanced out Lil Keith's voice, and the engineer did his job too. Number two is Backs to the Sky with Jetson Made. Knowing that Jetson is it's a big bass music producer. He's like a big 808 thing that he does. He made this very good, and he made it very clear for Lil Keith's voice to be noticed in this track. Where number one and number two, as not a fan, I will say, as not a fan I am from his music, I do respect right now that I do hear him clearly, knowing that Lil Keith has a squeaky and an irritating voice. Just for me, I respect y'all opinions. I respect how you loved him and still love him. So that's a great sign for somebody like me that is hearing his music for the first time. I do respect right now that. Number three is Muzzle Cuzzle featuring Nav, where it opens up like a YSL track. Like, y'all know when they did YSL the album, y'all hear this track and y'all feel like it's a YSL track for an album. And this is the song where Lil Keith uses his squeaky and irritating voice. But I do need to respect the man, knowing his style, knowing what he did. I need to respect that, and need to say that Nav killed his verse. Just people don't say no. Please don't say no that he did not kill it. Cause please tell me what corny line did Nav say in the comments, bro. Cause I've never heard a corny line. And knowing that Nav right now is doing corny shit, I gotta respect that in this song, he did it. Number four, SRT with his brother Lil Got It. It took me a hard time to understand if it was Keed or was Got It doing, for the first and second verse. Cause I've never heard both of them. This is my first time hearing both of them. And I do gotta say that I've never seen a brotherly relationship better than they two. Cause just their melodies, their vocals, their cadences, their flows, and it just resembles like they're twins. When people say, "Oh, you're my twin" in the music industry, you need to understand that really the word twin is from Lil Keed and Lil Got It. There's nothing else. That's the real resemblance, the real identity for word twins in the music industry. At number five is Hottest featuring Big Sean. Great feature to use this OG Big Sean. It's a great shit to use, and I gotta say, it's had a presidential beat, a little presidential beat, and I fuck with presidential beats. It's a great song with big lines from Big Sean saying, "Free the real, gotta reset the balance. Spider, spider, spider. All around me going Miles Morales." There's a big reference right there for Young Thug. Free Young Thug. Y'all gotta be real. There's a lot of people using Lil Wayne and Young Thug styles. So That's a big influence. And there's line that says, "At this point, I don't care about nothing. Just my daughter, my mother, my money. I don't give a fuck about none of y'all fuckboys. Treat them like trash trucks, nigga. Then go dump him." And she put me out of order. Gotta wait for the next round. Damn, bro. I do think this song came in like fire. It did came in fire, and I need to respect that there's an OG and there's somebody that to this point is showing me that he was going in a great direction. Number 6 is How Many featuring Offset. Just starting off, I put carrots on diamond chokers. I don't fuck with them boys on the other side. I've been focused on leading my team. Man, I still can't believe my brother died. And the end of Offset verse, how many, and he keeps on saying that you're a pussy, that you're a fuck nigga. This was the best feature, I guess, in the whole album. There's just God. They're just hits on hits on hits. At this point, like I said on number 5, this album is looking very bright. It's looking very needy to showing this new, like Lil Keed was trying to show us. He was trying to show his fans that he was evolving, he was maturing to a better person. Number 6 is Get My Money with Trippie Redd, a Cleveland native, just saying that Lil Keed was born in Atlanta and he was raised in Cleveland. So we got both people from a Cleveland area where there was a semi-Keed beat and there was a semi-Trippie Redd beat, where Trippie Redd killed his verse at the first leg of it. But knowing off, I need to respect though there's 2 Cleveland boys doing something that Cleveland needed, because Trippie Redd fucked up major of his album. Even though I did a review on it, he did fucked up a little bit his album, just putting a lot of loaded features on it. But we're not talking about Trippie Redd, so let's keep on going. At number 8 is Think About It, where at this point I do not regret listening to the album, and I do give respects to Lil Keed and his team. There's an odd ad-lib that it goes with the melody of the track itself, but there's still something about this track that I do not get, and is that it has corny lines like, "She want my baby, but her face where I place my semen. I slap my plug for the Zaza, smelling like farts." Even though I do not fuck a lot with the corny shit, I do respect when especially he's talking about fighting demons. And he has a line saying, these chopper bullets can kill a demon. I do respect somebody that goes into, trying to say I'm fighting my demons and trying to evolve into a better person. Number 9 is Long Way to Go. This is the earlier release song from this album. And when it dropped, you could hear that there's a better Lil Keed going on. Not that corny, not that squeaky, not that irritating. So it was showing that he really evolved to a different artist, and his artistry was going into the right way. Number 10 is Can't Fall Victim featuring KC. At this point, I had to add the album to my playlist, cause I've never heard Lil Keed, and knowing that this album, it's bangers from bangers, hits through hits, features great selected and great proportioned to the point where I had to respect the point where I do understand why people loved Lil Keed. Just knowing that the first 2 could have been skippable, but they're not, because I could have understand every line from Lil Keed. He has a great reference lines to Young Thug, knowing that he did respect Young Thug very clearly, and he was very appreciative to Young Thug helping him out and all that. KC with a good voice control, and there was lovely guitars and there was harp strings on the background too, so it did harmonize a lot of the song itself. Number 11, All I Wanna Know, featuring Young Thug. Talking about Young Thug from the last song, from the reference lines, Young Thug, Lil Keed, I respect the song. You gotta give props when I do not hear Young Thug songs like Down to Rodeo with Nav, and the other song that I really respect is Metro Spider from the Metro Boomin album. You know, knowing that I'm not that big of a fan of Young Thug, and seeing that his late years before going into jail, it has some big impact on what I'm hearing. I had to put this up, and Free Thug, rest in peace, Keed. Like, it's like you put Young Thug and his son. You know, it was like Young Thug birthed Lil Keed and put him on the track, and said, you know what, Youngin, do your thing. So there's nothing else to say about this track. Just respect, and there's a lot of love and appreciative from a boss to his album, or let's not say boss, because I don't think Young Thug is more of a boss. He's more of a mentor for these kids. Number 12, Lost My Trust featuring Corday. I gotta start with Corday with a different flow. On this track, he had a different flow. He had a different melody from everything you know about Corday itself. Just how low key dominated the whole song. That's what you're gonna do. That's what you gotta do when you do an album and you come and you call somebody for a feature. That's what you gotta do and say, you know what, I gotta dominate my shit. So respect to that too. Number 13 is Hitman. I'm going with Put That Fire in His Mouth. Tell him to suck it. That Bankroll got it, producer just, it was like this, face to face, it was like talking shit to a nigga and saying, you know what, I'm the one who demands this shit. I'm the one who's controlling this shit. And you know what I mean? Like, you trying to go to the face of the nigga and say, you know what, you do what I say, nigga. Like, don't be this tough nigga and try to come here and do your shit. Cause I'm gonna do my shit too. So great shit. Great shit from Lil Keed and Bankroll got it. And number 14, Betty Boop featuring Carlay and Bankroll got it. Another produced song by him, Road to Row. And there's a fun fact, and I think y'all gonna give a fuck about it. But Betty Boop is my grandmother's, and on my mother's side, that it's her favorite animated character. She had like clothes from Betty Boop. She had clothes. She had accessories. She had a lot of things from Betty Boop, bro. Like even phone covers and all that shit. She had even a action figure. She had her mug, like Betty Boop. It was a crazy shit from my grandmother by that. But I respect Keed verse, and at one point of the verse, he sounded like Lil Durk and Big Sean. But who the fuck is Carlay? I've never heard of her. But I'm gonna leave it like that. I'm not gonna get into more details about it. And number 16, Offland featuring Lil Jermaine. I don't know how the fuck you spell it, but why there's a lot of Lil in the game, Lil Keed, Lil Yachty, Lil Wayne, that was one of the major breaks out from Lil Baby, Lil Gotti, there's Lil. Like, come on, man. Y'all need to come up with better names and stop using that Lil, like adjective to get to your name. I'm gonna put Lil G. How y'all gonna love that? Lil G. Let's start with that. I gotta say nothing else about Keed. He just backed up. He from the halfway to this album, he just backed the whole album up. Even though that Hitman did it, the feature with Young Thug, that's number 11, he did it too. So there's nothing else you need to prove at this point, knowing that this is a good album. At number 16 is Big Bag with Dolly White and Young Thug, where I do feel that the only thing that was Tsunami Warning and Young Thug's, Eagle ad-libs. There's it was a feeling like I need to do another Young Thug and Lil Keed collaboration to just fill in this track, like feeling this album, to just let it go. But it was not even necessary to this point. Number 17 is Kickback with Lil Gotti and Stick Baby, where it was another like YSL. Like, are you fucking with me? This is a good song, you know. And there's a San Andrea reference on this like song. There's a bell, like there's like a certain bell from I don't know how to say it. I don't know how to even explain that little bell, cause it has they remake this, they like the bell, they did a different sound. But I do fuck with the beat, the flows, and the little added background ad libs that Lil Gotti, Stick Baby, and Lil Keed put up. That was a great shit. And I do love the flute from the whole song, where they added in some parts to the song. And number 18 is Self-Employed, where there was a release. It was the second release track before the album even dropped. It's a trap and semi-pop track that is just making us remind us like who Lil Keed was, what he did before even getting to this point. Number 19 is Love Me Again, and it keeps on making us trying to just make us understand the word, like, would people love him back knowing that he's doing certain type of things, and would a girl love him back knowing that he's like that. I had this feeling that I could hear the beat going, ascending to heaven at one point. And his chorus where he was said, "Would you love me again?" Singing it, you heard like you were hearing a different type of Lil Keed, even though he changed the whole, his whole setup. And number 20 is Thank You Lord with Friday, where he just finishes up his album. And now you can see me going drained up. I'm sorry, I'm trying to just contain myself from, dropping a tear. Because I'm just understanding this whole album itself. And just seeing, just knowing that he was going in a great direction. It's like life itself. When you're going to a great direction, you're heading to a positive, better yourself, something comes and fucks you up. And just hearing Friday's voice and Lil Keed explaining where this album was going to go and where his music, was going in the direction. Man. It's just very hard to understand why. And I don't know at what point of this track I lost it hearing it, because when he finished from Self-Employed and Love Me Again, and now he was with this track, I was just losing myself. Because in Love Me Again, a tear shed. But in Thank You Lord, bro, I just started crying. I'm trying to contain myself because I remember this track very vividly right now. And I just need to say, man, his daughter, just talk to him, and I want to talk to my daddy as background ad libs. That's it, bro.
Won't forget all the things that you told me. I feel you deep down in my soul.